Hey everyone, it's Mike again, back with another video installment. More vinyl acquisitions. I would say finds, but I didn't really find these. I ordered them online, all of these, but again, it's just my quest this year of just kind of filling in some holes and selling stuff that I don't need anymore, and filling in holes of places where I have a collection of different bands and I just want to get not necessarily everything in their discography, but everything that I like in their discography. So that's the case with a lot of these that I'm going to show today. Not a lot, should be a quick video, but my last video I talked about going to Stinkweeds. It's a local indie record store here in downtown Phoenix, and I didn't find anything. I traded in a bunch of records and got some store credit, but I didn't see anything that I needed to have. And well, there were a couple of records that I wanted to get, but they were $40 a piece, brand new. And I felt like I should kind of maybe hold out and see if I can find them online for cheaper. And I did. So that's what I'm going to show first. Now, this is a band that I just showed a record for on my last video. I got like their last album, their final album before they disbanded or went on hiatus or whatever state that they're in right now. It's a Swedish band called The Cardigans, and they at Stinkweeds they had these records of theirs, and I think I'd seen one of them shown before. And I guess my memory is just foggy, but I could have sworn that I saw, it might have been Steve Carlson showing one of these records. But I could be completely mistaken. I don't know. I don't know. My brain is mush at this stage in life, but I'm pretty sure I'd seen this before, but it just came out, these records I'm going to show just came out brand new last year. And my experience with the songs on these records were dated back to many, many, many years ago. I had gotten this compilation by the Cardigans called The Other Side of the Moon. Is that what it's called? I can't even read that. Yeah, The Other Side of the Moon. It was released right around the same time that they, right after they had released their second or their third, I guess, official studio album called First Band on the Moon. This is called The Other Side of the Moon, and it's a collection of B-sides and rarities and stuff. And there's a lot of songs on here that I really like. Cardigans are one of those bands that, not all bands are this way, in my opinion, but they're one of these bands that put out B-sides that are as good as their album output, if not better sometimes. And that's the case with this collection. And there's a few songs, Nasty Sunny Beam, Country Hell, War, all fantastic. Like some of the top, I would say those three songs are in the top 10 or 20 of my favorite Cardigan songs. And they're on this compilation on Stockholm Records. It's an import-only compilation that they released way back in, was it 97? Yeah, 1997. I saw them on that tour too, the First Band on the Moon. That's the first time I saw them on tour, was that tour. But anyway, I digress. So I didn't have any of this stuff on vinyl. This is just a CD-only release, and there's no vinyl release of this. And I'd always wanted to, I wanted to have all their studio albums, which now I believe I have all their studio albums except their first one, Emmerdale. I'm still looking for a good copy of that. But these other songs, these hard to find songs, these B-sides and rarities and stuff, I would love to also add those to my collection of Cardigan stuff. So this is when at Stinkweeds I saw these compilations. This is the first one called The Rest of the Best, Volume 1. And sure enough, it's got Nasty Sunny Beam. It's got Country Hell, which I mentioned before. It's got the song War, The First Try. It's kind of like a demo version of that song. It's a fantastic song, one of my favorites. It's got a couple of their Black Sabbath covers. They do a cover of Iron Man. They do a cover of Ozzy's Mr. Crowley. And I believe that it's on the album Life, which is their second album, they do a cover of Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. So it's really kind of funny, kind of tongue in cheek that they do. They're really into like doing a lot of Black Sabbath covers and Ozzy covers. But yeah, so those are on here. A lot of early stuff from like outtakes from their first couple albums. It's got Happy Meal 1, which I believe it originally appeared when I got the album Life. I bought it on CD when it came out, and it had that Happy Meal version 1. And then when First Band on the Moon came out, it had Happy Meal version 2. But I never, but then when I bought Life on vinyl eventually, which was just a few years ago, I finally got Life on vinyl, and it had the original song order, song content of the original album release, the Stockholm Records or Minty Fresh or whatever that original release was. It had those songs, and it didn't have the Happy Meal song. Happy Meal only appeared on the next album, First Band on the Moon. So it's one of my all-time favorite top 5 Cardigan songs for me, maybe even my favorite Cardigan song. And so Happy Meal 1 is on here. It's got a lot of really great stuff. It's also got Cocktail Party, Bloody Cocktail Party, taking up most of side D. That's a 2-record set. Most of side D is taken up with Cocktail Party, Bloody Cocktail Party. And basically it's their pianist, their keyboard player, playing a medley of early Cardigan songs on piano, kind of like you would hear it like a posh dinner party. Just kind of background music, and it goes on for, I don't know, like 20 minutes long. It's pretty funny as well. Really like this, really glad to have this first one. And I had credit on Amazon, so I ordered it and used up my credit on Amazon. And so yeah, that's a lot cheaper than 40 bucks. 2-record set, comes with these inner sleeves with the lyrics, and there's that. And then this one doesn't have many lyrics because it's got that long piano song on that side D. So there's those inner sleeves. And then black vinyl, heavyweight black vinyl with those are what the labels look like. Really, really nice stuff. So I was really happy to get that. And of course, there was a second part, Rest of the Best, Volume 2. So I picked that up as well. And this is only $20 brand new on Amazon. I know I like to buy local when I can, but when local is selling it for literally twice as much as what it's on Amazon, that's what it is on Amazon. I don't know. I don't want to spend $40 on a record when I know I can get it for 20. But they get my business otherwise. But in cases like this, I'm going to get it off of Amazon. I'm sorry. This has got another version of War on it, but like I guess the final version of it or the finished version of it, and it's a lot different than the original, and I love it. It's different. I wouldn't say I like it better than the original, that first try version that's on the other compilation, but I really like it a lot. It's pretty cool. Deuce is another song on here, one of my favorites of theirs as well. It's a non-album track, and it's from the X-Files movie soundtrack. So I've been listening to it for years and years and years, but I've never had it on vinyl before, so it's cool to have that. They do a cover of Kraftwerk's The Model in German. They sing it in German. And then it's got a bunch of other stuff from the later albums, I guess, on this. So really cool. Glad to have this one as well. So Rest of the Best, volumes 1 and 2 by the Cardigans. The inner sleeves these ones have the lyrics as well, and they're in the blue color to match the front cover logo. And again, heavyweight vinyl, black vinyl with the blue labels. So yeah, Cardigans. So, and if you ever get a chance, if you find this is a really nice compilation as well. It's a shortened version. It just has the early stuff from that volume 1. But this doesn't have Deuce. This doesn't have War, the second version. It's missing some songs that I get to have on the vinyl compilations. So definitely good to get if you're a Cardigans collector like I am. Next one, This is a band that I love that I never see anybody talk about on the vinyl community. I've only seen one person talk about them, and he's talked about them quite a bit. And gosh, I can't remember his name now. What is his name? Can't remember his name. But anyway, the band is Leica. It'll come to me mid video probably. But the band is called Leica. They are a offshoot of the original band Moonshake, kind of a post-rock band on Too Pure Records. And Leica was two members, Margaret, not Louise, Margaret and John. Margaret was a vocalist, and she did programming and loops and stuff like that. And then John Furnett, he's the bass player. They left Moonshake and formed this band. They got together with Guy Fixon, who provides guitar programming and sampling, and then also Lou Cicciotelli, Cicciotelli maybe on drums, and Rob Ellis on drums. So there's two drummers, and Louise Elliott on flute and sax. So that's the band. Makeup, fantastic music. I wrote down these descriptions of the music because I really don't know how to describe it accurately. Dub, trip hop, drum and bass, atmospheric dream pop, complex layered polyrhythmic beats and analog sounds. They're post-rock, machine music blend with flesh and blood funk. So that's describing it way better than I could. It's really a wild band, very outer space themed, and the music sounds like it's from outer space. I really love that kind of stuff. And this is their first EP called Antenna, 4-song EP. It's got the song Marimba Song, which is also appears on their first album. It also has a remix, like an extended remix of that same song. And then it's got B-sides of Lion Goat, which is a really frenetic, fast-paced, crazy song, but really good. And then I think it's an instrumental, Squeaky. I can't remember, but if memory serves, it's an instrumental. But anyway, really great stuff. First EP from Leica. Really happy to have this on vinyl. I've had it on CD since forever when this EP first came out. I was a fan of Moonshake at the time, and then just followed the band. Like the rest of the Moonshake band members just stayed as Moonshake and put out a record or two more. But I didn't follow them because I didn't like the remaining members. I didn't like the kind of music that they were putting out. But I really like these two members and what they did with this band Leica. So that's what the back looks like. So Antenna, the Antenna EP, finally have it on vinyl, just black vinyl, no inner sleeve or whatever, but that's what it looks like. Really cool stuff, love them. I'll show, while I'm doing the show and tell, I'll show you the records that I do have by them. This is their first album, Silver Apples of the Moon. Originally on Too Pure. This is a reissue, and it's on like this goldish kind of vinyl that's supposed to, I guess, mimic the color of this kind of a brown paper bag kind of cover that they did. So that's their first album. Also 1994, which is when that Antenna EP came out. Their second album, Sounds of the Satellites, fantastic album, Too Pure Records. Third album, Good Looking Blues, again, Too Pure Records, fantastic album as well. And then their final album, Wherever I Am What Is Missing. That's their final album, really great stuff as well. And then I've always bought their CDs, so I've just only recently started collecting their vinyl. But there's the Silver Apples from the Moon. This is an original on Too Pure. With actual stickers. They did a reissue where it was just printed on just flat on paper, but this original version has this brown paper bag material and actual stickers stuck onto them, and then an actual stamp over the sticker, that kind of thing. So that's their first album, Sounds of the Satellites CD, Good Looking Blues CD. I've got a couple of singles from that album, Bad Times, a little EP that's got some bonus tracks. Uneasy, which I believe is the first single off of that album, Good Looking Blues. And it's got some B-sides on it that are really good as well. Then their final album that I just showed, this is it on Too Pure on CD. And then this is a compilation that they put out. What is it called? Lost in Space. And it's a 2 CD set. It's got like kind of a collection of their best or most popular songs on CD1. And then CD2 is all like B-sides and outtakes and rarities and stuff. So that's a really awesome, that's a must-have thing to get. Not on vinyl, it's only on CD, Lost in Space. So really cool band. Check them out if you haven't already. Highly recommend them. Let's see. The next record I got. So this band has been putting out some reissues recently, and I guess I just got impatient and I didn't know if they were going to reissue their last album. But I got these two. This is their third album, The Great Eastern. This is Delgados, the Delgados out of Scotland. This is their third album, The Great Eastern. This is their fourth album, Hate, which is my favorite of theirs. Also been reissued recently. So I had to grab those. But then their last album, I haven't seen any word or anything about a reissue on this, and I saw a really good copy of this, an original, and really great shape and the right price. So I went ahead and grabbed it. It's called Universal Audio. This is their fifth and final album. Came out in, let's see, gotta check my notes, 2004. This is kind of a pared down type of recording. Their last two albums that I just showed are very orchestral, very grand, very huge and dynamic. This is a more pared down, simplistic version of their style of music. It's been compared to like XTC's Skylarking or the Pixies Bossa Nova. People compare some of these songs to, and also like Belle and Sebastian. So if any of those bands interest you, I would definitely check out this or any of their albums, especially their last three albums. I feel are definitely their best. Yeah, so this is their fifth and final album. I saw them on this tour. They played in Mesa, Arizona, so I was really happy to see them before they became defunct. Just really gorgeous, awesome indie rock pop kind of music. This is the inner sleeve, and there you see the band there, and then the lyrics on the back, and the labels there, black vinyl. So Delgados, finally got this album. Really happy about that. And then the next one. So this is a blast from the past. God, one of my first, maybe my first huge punk concerts I ever went to back in high school. I got to see the Circle Jerks. They were playing at, I believe this was at the Cuban Club in Ybor City in the Tampa area of Florida. I was going to high school down south of there, and my friends and I drove up to Tampa, to Ybor City, to see the Circle Jerks, and that was awesome. It was in support of this album that came out in 1985 called Wonderful. It's their fourth studio album. Their first three are my favorite. I guess if you count Group Sex as an album or a mini LP, I'm not sure, but this is their fourth, and not their best. and I think most people will agree with that opinion. But it was really cool to see them live, and I found this original, US original on Combat Core Records. I used to have this record back then and sold it for whatever reason back in my college days, and now I have a nice, really nice quality copy of this, and it's in really good shape. Yeah, I mean, I like the song Wonderful. I don't know, the rest of the songs can kind of, take it or leave it, but I really love the Circle Jerks. They're one of my favorite punk bands. Saw them way back when for this tour, and then I saw them recently at the Van Buren in Phoenix, and it was a great show. These three guys were all still in the band. Oh, sorry, these three were all still there, much older, and they had a different drummer. That's the drummer for this album, but they had a different drummer when I saw them recently. But anyway, Circle Jerks, Wonderful, Combat Core, I believe is the label. And yeah, awesome. Glad to have this back in my collection. original inner sleeve with lyrics. Like punk records, like originals from back in the 80s, they don't ever look this good. They're usually pretty tore up, but this person took care of their record. And then there's the label there, black vinyl. So, and then to stay on the punk, this is my last record I'm going to show, stay with the punk theme. This is something that I've been wanting to get. I've never owned this album in any format, CD or record or whatever. But I always knew if I did get a copy of this on vinyl, there was a certain version of it that I needed to get. It needed to come with a special insert. And if it didn't have that insert, then I wasn't going to, pay the money to get it. Because to get originals, it's very expensive, or usually pretty expensive. And even without the insert, the band insert, and some of you might know what I'm coming to talk about. Even without the band insert, it's still a pretty penny to find an original. And I was able to find this original with the album label, order form that came with it, and with the insert, which is a poster, a band poster. And I don't have the hype sticker though. I wish it would have come with a hype sticker. It didn't have the hype sticker. But this is in like really good shape too. It kind of has a very old kind of record smell. Not mold, but just kind of an old record smell. But it's really fantastic that I finally have this. This is Dead Kennedys, Frankenchrist. What is this? Their I guess their fourth studio album. Their third studio album. In God We Trust was in kind of an EP, I guess. So I guess their third studio album came out in 1985 as well, same time as that Circle Jerks album I just showed, on Alternative Tentacles Records. Again, I've never owned this before in any kind of format. I had like a digital download of it, but so I'd listen to it that way, but I've never owned a copy of it. Because I always knew that if I ever got a copy of it, I'd want to get it with certain things included. So there was a campaign against this record, against the insert that came with this, I guess from the PMRC, which is the Tipper Gore, the religious right, were just up in arms over an inserted poster that came with this. It's a poster artwork created by H.R. Geiger, who's the famous Swiss artist who did all that stuff for the Alien movies. So I'm not gonna unfold and show the picture or the poster, but the poster is here. You can kind of see that's about all I'm gonna show there. That's the poster that I've always wanted, and it's in fantastic shape. Doesn't have any pinholes or tape or glue or anything to it, so it's just in pristine condition. It's got came with the order form, the Alternative Tentacles order form here, where you can order their 7 inches and albums and such. I've got a few of the 7 inches. Yeah, so that's really cool, really nice condition as well. And then it came with this lyric insert with the rounded corners. When you talk about it, or when you read about this, like on Discogs, it'll talk about the rounded corner insert with all the lyrics, and then this side on the other side. Again, just really fantastic condition. The record's in great condition as well, just your standard black vinyl. It's got the dark kind of brownish red labels on it for Alternative Tentacles, and there's that. So yeah, I finally got a copy of this, and it's got the poster, and it's not a poster that I'm going to be hanging up on my wall, but it just to me, it just adds to the validity, I guess, of owning this, is to have all the stuff included, I guess, with it. And it wasn't a bad price at all. I have like notifications on Discogs, and it'll tell me when all of these, copies of Loveless, I'm looking for an original copy of Loveless, so those will all show up, and all these other records will show up, and this record shows up all the time, and people are charging like $150 for, a original copy, and sometimes it'll have the poster, sometimes it won't, but it was really important to me to find one under $100, and this was well under $100. And it had the poster. So, and it's in great shape. I mean, it looks really good. Nice crisp corners. It's not all banged up. It doesn't have water damage or anything. So yeah, Dead Kennedys, Frankenchrist. Awesome. I guess that's it. I went to see the Deftones with my son a couple weeks ago, I guess 2 weeks ago today. He loved it. First concert, and he was just over the moon, just so happy to see his favorite band. And we had great seats, and we were in the upper deck, but the way that the seats are, this is at the Footprint Center where the Phoenix Suns play. The way the upper deck is, it's at such an angle that you really don't have people like in front of you. You don't have to look around somebody's head unless they were like 8 feet tall, but you don't have to look around people's heads to see the band. And my son's not the tallest kid in the world, so he was able to see everything without having a big adult in front of him blocking. I was afraid he was going to have to stand for most of the concert or crouch up onto the seat to see, but he had a perfect view of the band. They played 20 songs, and most of them were ones that my son absolutely loves. So fantastic show, really good show. Yeah, so awesome experience. And that's really it. And I haven't added any more concerts to my list yet, and I probably won't. I'm probably going to try to save some money this year. Lots of expensive things happen when you have kids, and one of them just learned how to drive. So yeah, I'm going to save some money for that kind of stuff. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for getting me over 1,000 a little bit ago, and now I'm shooting for 2,000. So please like and subscribe. Leave comments. I love to read the comments, and I'll respond to every single comment that I get. Love you all. Take care. Have a great weekend. See ya. Bye.